So, welcome, the Anime Man and Akidearest.
How's it going?
I call you Joey.
Yeah, Joey is fine.
Joey and Akidearest. Welcome to South Africa.
Thank you.
Yeah,
So
it's
the
been
first
great.
question is about South Africa. How has your experience been in Comic-Con and South Africa in general so far?
You want to start?
Yeah, I mean, I've like always wanted to come to Africa in general, and so when I got the invite for South Africa, it was like an opportunity that I couldn't miss. And since being here, I don't know, I just really like it. The weather is a lot better than Japan. Everything's just really new to me. Even just like seeing animals that I didn't even know existed. It's been really cool.
Yeah, I think like we've been to a lot of conventions together all over the world, and like obviously both of us for the first time in Africa in general, let alone a convention in Africa. And like, I don't know, this convention, like I really like the vibe of it. The just variety of stuff you can do here, I think is completely outmatched. Like, you know, there's like, you can get tattoos here and like buy vapes and like, you know, Nintendo's sponsoring it. Like these are like, I've never seen anything like that.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
It's really wild what you guys have, and like, I don't know, I really enjoy the vibe and the people are so nice.
Yeah.
And yeah, we've just been having a really good time.
Excellent.
Awesome. Okay, my question is, why do you think people love anime so much?
It's not like, you know, your Western cartoons, like, you know, not saying one is better than the other, obviously, but like compared to a lot of Western cartoons, like it's just a completely different experience to watch, just because the culture surrounding it is just so unique to anywhere else in the world. And you know, like the animation is absolutely wild. Like there's so many shows have like so much passion put behind it, I think, and just like I think for a lot of people outside of Japan, just like the idea of Japan or something coming out of Japan is such like a foreign like experience, or like a really like weird thing that is like very untouched. So, you know, as weird as it is to say, like it almost seems like something from like a faraway land, you know. And I think that like uniqueness appeals to a lot of people, I think. Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, it's just like you said, it's a very different form of media, and it just has elements and traits to it that you just don't see in like regular cartoons or in movies. There's a lot of things in anime that just don't translate as well into other forms of media, like live actions, which I think is why it's so difficult to pull off sometimes. But I mean, I think it's starting to get a lot better.
Hey, One Piece live action was really good.
Yeah, so you know, I think the bridge is starting to be built a lot more better, especially in recent years.
I think as well the internet has helped a lot, because I
Yeah,
think
definitely.
you know, like back in like when we were born, like 90s, you know, early 2000s, like it wasn't as easy to like get access to anime, I think. But now that everyone has a smartphone, everyone has access to the internet, it's so much easier for that kind of like what was once a counterculture to like kind of spread on the internet now. So I think just the fact that more people are talking about it and it's so much easier to find people who are talking about it, I think it's just helped it to like really grow and expand. I feel that was way too deep of an answer.
We could have literally just been like,
It's cool.
Yeah, we could have literally just been like, I mean, yeah, because it just.
I really wanted the deep cut, so.
All right, cool.
So you guys are living in Japan now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
from an outsider's perspective, obviously there's a bit of misinformation about what Japan is actually like.
Sure.
So most anime fans think, oh, the roads are paved with anime, and it's anime on every corner. But what's it really like? Can you
I
give us an
mean,
idea?
there is a lot of that.
I mean, anime is definitely a lot more into like more normal, I guess, in society.
I feel how mainstream anime has gotten, or more mainstream anime has gotten overseas, is also reflective of Japan. Like I
Yeah.
feel liking anime now is almost seen as like a kind of a cool thing now, even in Japan. So like you definitely do see a lot more, like you could be in like the middle of nowhere and you would see like advertisements for anime or some kind of anime aesthetic thrown into it. But like it's not like riddled with anime everywhere,
Yeah.
obviously, because you know, as much as anime is a cool culture that has become international from Japan, there's also a
Nothing's
lot.
really changed in Japan.
Yeah, but there's also a lot of other things that come out of Japan
Yeah.
that are just as influential, if not more influential, right? So, I mean, you know, if you go to places like Akihabara, which is like the anime city of Japan, every like second poster, every second street corner you see is going to be some kind of like anime or anime game or some kind of anime aesthetic. But outside of that, you honestly don't really see that much. It's a pretty normal looking city and a normal looking country, I feel. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like anime has always just been so normal. I mean, to them, it's just like cartoons, basically. It's kind of funny when you like. There's even some people that are like, "Oh, my favorite anime is Shrek," which yeah, like
Which
legit.
technically speaking is
To them, yeah.
is accurate because the word anime in Japan just means animation.
Yeah, I
So
feel.
anything that is animated is anime. So Shrek is technically an anime in Japan.
I feel like you find a bigger sense of community outside of Japan when you find someone that says, "Oh, I really like anime," and then there's a story there. But in Japan, the question's more like, "Oh, what anime do you like?" You know, maybe not everyone likes anime, but it's not really like a surprising thing.
There isn't a person who doesn't know what anime is, regardless of whether they watch it or not.
Yeah.
I think.
So I mean, but I think like Joey said, you know, with anime, I think anyone who does like anime, it just naturally puts Japanese culture in front of you. So from there, like anime fans just naturally tend to gear towards wanting to know more about the culture.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you.
Alright, this one's for both of you. What has been the top 3 anime that you've watched recently that shocked you, that you actually enjoyed it?
I haven't watched a lot of anime recently. Okay, well, I mean, it's not like recent, but I mean, like, I guess it is recent. Like, Chainsaw Man was, you know, incredible. As a long time, you know, fan of the manga and the actual manga artist behind it, Fujimoto Tatsuki, I was, you know, it was incredibly hyped up, and I was hyped for it, being a Fujimoto fan, and I think it delivered really well. So that one was amazing. Mushoku Tensei Season 1 was really good, considering the fact that I do not like isekai at all. It was actually a really good show. Haven't started Season 2 yet, but Season 1 was very good. And then, what else? What's the third one? What have you watched recently?
We saw Bocchi the Rock, remember?
Oh yeah, we did see Bocchi the Rock.
I really liked it, actually.
I wasn't as big of a fan of it.
I really liked it.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, and then I remember Blue Lock, but I was actually more into the manga.
Yeah, the manga was definitely better.
Yeah, so I think, like, it's hard to think of, like, a top 3 anime that I've been watching recently, because I don't even know if I can list any, but I know that just collectively, I'm really hyped to see the new Ghibli film. I don't even know if it's out overseas yet, but Japan, like all of my friends in Japan who already saw it said it was like the best Ghibli film.
I need to see it. Yeah.
And then I recently got into a manga series called Dandadan, which is fantastic. It's the same people who made
It's a completely new artist.
Oh, just completely.
Yeah, that's his first work.
Oh, okay. It's just because like we recently went to like this cool manga event and they had Chainsaw Man, Spy Family, and then Dan. So I thought there was like a correlation.
And
there.
Aki never heard of Dan, so I was like, you have to read it.
Yeah, but the art really kind of captivated me and caught my attention, so I started picking that up. And then other than that. And then Bocchi the Rock, that one was really cute, but we had very polarizing opinions about it.
Yeah, I mean, next season they have Free Ren, which is a manga that I absolutely love, and I'm really hyped for that anime, so probably going to be watching that.
Alright, so last question. You guys are content creators, but you also have a lot of things that you're doing. You've got a podcast, you've got brands, you've got all these things that you're trying to juggle constantly. So how do you think, how do you plan to evolve that in the future?
Yeah, I guess when it comes to the podcast, like, we've been doing it now for, 3.5 years, 170 episodes or something ridiculous like that. We definitely plan to do like a lot more like bigger projects on that, like, you know, more specials and more just like big budget stuff. But also, you know, just keeping the vibe of the podcast alive and well, because people enjoy that. When it comes to my clothing brand, I have a lot of big plans for that. I have a really big collaboration with the brand coming out in November. I'm very excited to talk about. And just, I don't know, the reason why I wanted to like do the brand especially is because, you know, I thought to myself, I've been doing this for 10 years now. Can I see myself making YouTube videos for another 10 years, regardless of if I am even relevant by that point or not? And like, there was a part of me that was like, I really don't know, because I might get bored of it. I might want to try and pursue something else, and I can't always be in front of the camera for the rest of my career. So I thought, what's something that's creative but in a different field to video making, and living in Japan, and thanks to Aki, like I really got into like a lot of fashion, and like actually learned how to dress myself correctly.
Yeah, and you're actually wearing.
And I'm wearing my own brand right now.
Yeah.
There's a new one that just came out.
I'd say that this is probably one of my favorite shirts.
Yeah.
This one and like the.
Well, I think this one. There's only like 2 left of this one.
Yeah.
But yeah, just kind of building up and trying to get creative with something that is not necessarily in video making, but I can use the skills I learned through YouTube to like kind of project the brand and do other like cool business sided stuff, because like I'm like approaching 30, and I don't know if people want to see a 40, 50-year-old talking about anime, on YouTube, right? I feel there's like a bit of a limit to when that can happen. I mean, we never know, right? Because the industry is still so young, but I don't want to put like all my eggs into one basket, I guess. So I want to try and do as many like creative outlets as I can while I can. Like I have like another project I'm working on that's got nothing to do with YouTube or clothing and stuff like that, which hopefully will come out. But it's just been really fun to just kind of use every part of my creative brain, I guess, to like just try and do all sorts of different things. And if I do something and it doesn't work out, then I can always just try and move on to the next endeavor and see what I enjoy making. But what have you got planned?
It's kind of hard to say like long term. I'm kind of different. Like I guess like for me, I've always just kind of been very like short term kind of thing. I'm very much like in the moment, like, oh, I have this right now, and as time passes by, I'm sure like I'll figure out something when all of this is done, and I think that YouTube or just content creating has definitely opened a lot of doors for opportunities that I never thought I would ever do. Like I got to make an eyeliner brand myself as well. I made a dojin, and I made 2 figures now, and there's just like a whole bunch of other projects that I want to do. So for me, I'm just kind of like utilizing this moment as much as I can, and with all these opportunities, I'm pretty hopeful that eventually I'll find something in the future. So
yeah. I'm Joey the Anime Man.
And I'm Akidearest.
And you're watching Glitched.